Hello, learners. Let's look at the simultaneous equations. Solving for x and y simultaneously is whereby we are given two equations, and in these two equations we are having two variables that we are required to solve for simultaneously. Simultaneously means that we solve for these two variables at the same time. These variables that we are having in these two equations are x and y. Equation 1 is read as y minus 2x is equal to negative 1. Equation 2, y squared minus 3xy is equal to negative 2. Right, we have two equations, equation 1 and equation 2, whereby we are supposed to be solving them simultaneously for x and y. Right, now we say from equation 1, looking at the two equations, the one of the two equations looks simpler than the other, then the other one looks more complicated. So we take the one which looks simpler. Then in this case it is equation 1. Then when we take equation 1, we will make one of the two variables be the subject of the formula. And in that case, when making such a variable be the subject of the formula, we avoid having fractions. So in this case, I decided to make my y variable be the subject of the formula. So my equation 3 becomes y is equal to 2x minus 1. Right, after having that, I'm having my equation 3. What am I going to do with this equation 3? I will then now substitute this equation 3 into equation 2. How do I do that? I said when you look at equation 2, there are variables x and y. But now from our equation 1, we made y be the subject of the formula. Now our y is equal to 2x minus 1. When we go to equation 2, now we take that 2x minus 1 and put it in place of y, because y is equal to 2x minus 1. So in place of y, we put 2x minus 1 in equation 2. So it becomes our substitution. Then when we remove brackets, then this is our equation. The next step, what we are supposed to be doing now is to add the like terms, so that at the end we reach a stage whereby we will be having a quadratic equation that will be in standard form. Now we have, in this step, we have a quadratic equation, and this quadratic equation, as we are looking at it, we can see that it is in standard form. It is in standard form such that we can read the values of a, b, and c. If we can read the values of a, b, and c, we don't stress ourselves to think about the factors of a quadratic equation. We always recommend that learners please insert the quadratic formula in a calculator, and then you substitute the values of a, b, and c. There is your quadratic formula. After substituting those values of a, b, and c in your formula in a calculator, you will then get the values of x. The first value of x is minus 3 over 2, and the other one is x is equal to 1. Remember, we are solving these equations simultaneously, so we have two values of x. Then now we also need now to get the other two values of y. If now we are having two values of x, then therefore we also need to have two values of y. What we need now to do is to take these values of x that we have and try to substitute them back into equation 3 so that we get the corresponding values of y. So we do this like this. We take each value of x, we substitute it into equation 3. When we substitute negative 3 over 2 into equation 3, we put that x in place of x, that value in place of x, and then we get our y as negative 4. Then if we take another value of x, which is 1, and we put it in place of x in equation 3, then we get our value of y as 1.